I've tried everything. My cat just won't use the litter box. Cat bathroom behaviors are way more complex than we realize, with one study outlining 39 different bathroom behaviors, ranging from different postures and body movements to even tail and ear position. And most of the litter box recommendations out there do not have scientific studies to back them up. All you have to do is switch to a stainless steel litter box and use tofu cat litter. Your goal is to make sure your cat sees their litter box setup like this, not like this. So how do we do that exactly? In this video, I have 25 litter box recommendations for you. Are there any actual studies supporting these 25 recommendations? Yes, and we'll chat about them with each recommendation. Random, not so random fact. On average, it takes mammals about 21 seconds to urinate, regardless of their size. 21 seconds to pee is surprisingly consistent with all mammals in something known as the universal law of urination, which holds true for mammals 6.6 pounds and up. It takes an elephant the same amount of time to empty their bladder as your cat. So, if your cat is taking longer than 21 seconds to urinate, it might be a medical or behavioral issue. One study found that cats with inadequate litter box setups urinated less often and for a longer amount of time, with the average time being 52 seconds when compared with cats that had a much better litter box setup. If you plan on sitting next to your cat's litter box with a stopwatch, that will probably stress your cat out and give you an inaccurate time. But a video would work. Hi, I'm Dr. Ross, cat veterinarian since 2004. If your cat is not using the litter box 100%, there's a problem. That's obvious. However, cats have a bunch of other behaviors that are telling you they are frustrated and not satisfied with their current litter box setup. So be on the lookout for any of these behaviors. Scratching the litter box sides, balancing on the sides of the litter box, putting paws in the air or on the sides when using the litter box, hesitating going towards the litter box, walking away without using the litter box, getting into the litter box and then jumping out without using the litter box, not digging in the litter box, not circling in the litter box, taking a long time to urinate, like 52 seconds or more, not the standard 21 seconds, not covering waste in the litter box, excessively shaking paws after getting out of the litter box, pawing at the floor, wall, or any surface near the litter box after going to the bathroom, sniffing their business for a long time after using the bathroom, and returning to the litter box shortly after going to the bathroom and sniffing. Take a look at this cat. Even though this cat uses the litter box, the behaviors tell us they are not satisfied, which might result in going to the bathroom somewhere else. The good news is most cats will continue to use their litter box even if they're showing signs they are frustrated and not satisfied. And that's your window of opportunity. Recognize these behaviors now and make changes before they become a bigger issue. In addition to giving you a laundry list of things to do, I also want you to understand not just what your cat wants, but why they want it. Or rather, what your cat needs when it comes to their litter box setup, which will give you the best chance to figure out what changes to make in your individual home with your individual cat. We start by looking at how a cat uses the bathroom in the wild. Cats choose a location that is away from where they eat and drink. They choose a location in plain sight with a wide view of their surroundings to avoid any danger. They choose a location with an easy escape route in case something were to happen. And they choose a location with sand-like material, where it is easy to dig a hole to go to the bathroom in and then bury it. Now, look at your cat's litter box setup. Does your current litter box setup meet these cat bathroom needs? If not, especially if your cat is telling you they are frustrated and not satisfied, it's time for a change. If your cat is not using the litter box 100%, there are 3 categories to consider, and recommendations will be made based on which category your cat falls into. Number 1, inadequate litter box setup and/or maintenance, looking through the eyes of your cat. Number 2, stress, like changes in the home, moving, remodeling, new pets, new family members, or any routine changes like starting a new job. Cats are creatures of habit, so any little change, no matter how small, might result in your cat not using the litter box 100%. And number 3, conflict between other cats or other pets in your home. So, which category best fits your cat? We begin with the 5 most important litter box recommendations that can make the biggest difference. Litter box cleanliness, litter box size, type of litter, litter box location, and the number of litter boxes. Number 1, litter box cleanliness. Not surprisingly, studies show cats prefer clean litter boxes to dirty litter boxes. And how often you scoop the litter box can be one of the most important things you can do to help ensure your cat uses their litter box. More specifically, studies show the actual presence of urine and feces in the litter box can force your cat to use the bathroom elsewhere. Many of you probably have a cat that jumps into the litter box right after you clean it. And studies support that behavior. Cats prefer unused litter boxes to used one. And if your cat does do that, they are telling you something. Studies show that scooping the litter twice daily and frequently replacing the entire litter with fresh new litter resulted in cats using the litter box more often and more consistently. At minimum, you should be scooping the litter box at least once a day and replacing the entire litter, in addition to fully cleaning the litter box at least every 1 to 4 weeks. The more cats you have, the more often you'll have to do this. As a little incentive, the longer waste sits in the litter box, the harder it is to clean as the waste starts to cake to the sides and bottom of the litter box. So even though it's a pain to scoop the litter box multiple times a day, in the long run, it'll save you time when you thoroughly have to clean the litter box. And this is one of the best ways to achieve litter box success. Number 2, litter box size. The bigger the better, pretty common knowledge and many cat videos stating as much. But do you know why? A large litter box allows a cat to complete their bathroom routine. Something along the lines of entering, digging, circling, eliminating, circling, burying, and exiting without disruption. So how big are we talking about? One study explains litter boxes should be, and I quote, 1.5 times the length from the nose to the base of the tail, or large enough to allow the cat to fully enter, circle, dig, eliminate, circle, and cover without touching the sides of the box. For an average cat, 1.5 times the length from the nose to the base of the tail is about 50 centimeters or 20 inches in length. This is important because most litter boxes are too small, especially if you get them from a big box retail store. It's a bit easier online because they actually show you the dimensions of the litter box. And just when you've decided on the perfect litter box, if you truly want to achieve litter box success, get the next size up. Number 3, type of cat litter. Everyone asks, what is the best cat litter to use? Despite all the opinions out there, it really depends on your cat's personal preference. Not every cat uses and likes every type of cat litter. If this was easy, there wouldn't be so many options, most of which are marketing to you, the cat parent who doesn't like scooping and cleaning the litter box. Litter should meet the needs of your cat, not your human preferences. You only need to look to a cat's ancestor, the African wildcat, to get a sense on what type of litter your cat probably prefers. The African wildcat used the desert as its toilet, so anything similar to sand would be acceptable, which is exactly what studies tell us. Cats prefer fine, sand-like, non-scented, clumping litter. One study stated, and I quote, litters that are fine and sand-like, have a loose texture, are unscented, and scoopable are preferred, whereas large gravel or pellet-like materials are disliked by cats. And this makes sense, as cats were small and had many predators in the wild. To hide their smell and presence, cats would choose a location to go to the bathroom that was easy to cover and hide their waste well, like sand. This also probably protected them from infectious organisms. Studies show wood and paper litters were not used as much when compared to clay clumping litter. The texture of the litter felt by a cat's paws to create a small hole to use the bathroom in may also be a factor. A cat's experience with their litter before and after doing their business may influence how a cat uses a litter box, but more studies are needed on this topic. If you do not want to use a clay clumping litter, choose something close to a sand-like material or choose a litter with the smallest pellet size. If you really want to achieve litter box success, once you find a cat litter your cat likes, it is best to stick with that litter and avoid changing it often. A sale on litter is not a good reason to change your cat's litter. Simply changing your cat's litter to one they don't normally use can be stressful for your cat. One way to get around this is to keep your cat's current litter and litter box in the same location at the same time you are introducing a new cat litter. And keep it there until your cat gets used to the new cat litter. Studies recommend doing so for at least 6 days. Number 4, location, location, location. Location is important because cats are vulnerable, just like us, when they go to the bathroom. In the wild, they would choose a location with a wide view of their surroundings to minimize possible threats during their moment of vulnerability. These locations also had an easy escape route if something were to happen. Think about the last time someone knocked on or pulled the handle of the porta potty you were in. Not the best feeling. Therefore, the location of your litter boxes should be focused on minimizing distractions and maximizing convenience as best you can. The focus should not be on your human preferences, which are going to be out of sight, out of mind to help minimize smell and litter tracking. Check out these litter box location recommendations, which will depend on the space and layout of your home. Avoid locations near loud noises, like a room with a washer and dryer or a furnace, anything that may startle your cat if it turns on. Avoid locations near food and water dishes. The food and water bowls should not be in the same room as a litter box. Avoid locations with heavy traffic. One study showed an increase in litter box avoidance when the litter boxes were put near or under stairs. The assumption was heavy foot traffic on or near stairs prevented cats from using the litter box. Avoid locations with cold, smooth, or slick floors. These surfaces may deter your cat. Alternatively, you can place a rug in these areas. Just make sure it doesn't discourage your cat from using the litter box. Avoid placing litter boxes side by side. There's some debate as to whether or not litter boxes should be right next to each other in the same room. Some suggest that a cat just sees one litter box instead of 2 litter boxes side by side. Do have litter boxes in many locations. Instead of having all of the litter boxes in one room, place them in different areas around the home and in different rooms. One study showed that households with dogs and or more than one cat had an increase in litter box avoidance, presumably due to decreased litter box access. Or it might be because a cat did not feel they had a safe entry or exit from their litter box due to the presence of another furry family member in the home. Do put litter boxes on all floors. If you have more than one floor in your home, place at least one litter box on each floor. Do place litter boxes out of sight with one another. A good general rule is to make sure your cat cannot see another litter box while they are in one, which also helps ensure they are spaced far enough apart. Do choose locations with an easy exit. If your cat feels trapped or they cannot escape from the litter box if they need to, they may avoid using the litter box. Studies tell us cats prefer locations that are quiet, easy to access, out of sight, and away from food and water. One study suggests cats prefer at least 10 meters or about 30 feet of distance between where they eat and drink and where they use the bathroom. Now, how that translates with an indoor-only cat living inside a home with walls, doors, furniture, and different levels, more studies are needed to specifically address that question. Number 5, number of litter boxes. Even though having the correct number of litter boxes is important, it can be hard to achieve due to the space and layout of your home. Ideally, to achieve litter box success, the number of litter boxes you should have in your home is the number of cats plus 1. So, if you have just 1 cat, it is best to have 2 litter boxes. 5 cats, that's 6 litter boxes. And if you have this, then you'll need this. If space allows, have the correct number of litter boxes before you have an issue, not after. If space is an issue, say you have 3 cats and only enough room for 2 litter boxes, scooping and cleaning the litter box should take priority, which is why that is the number 1 recommendation. Check them often and scoop them anytime you see waste. You'll also need to thoroughly clean them out with soap and water and completely change the litter often. Those 5 recommendations are far more important than anything else I'll chat about in this video, so I would at least start there. Before I get to the next 20 recommendations, I feel it is important to have a little perspective on exactly what we're talking about here. When a cat does not use their litter box, that is extremely frustrating. I get that. But we humans already have a huge ask of our feline family members, which is to go to the bathroom in a very specific spot, their litter box, over and over again, so we don't see it, so we don't smell it, against their natural instincts. So I don't think it's too much of an ask for us humans to meet our feline family members part way by implementing those 5 recommendations and the 20 to follow, because our cats are already accommodating us humans and our preferences a lot. Number 6, litter box covers. Most everyone recommends not using a covered litter box, including myself, equating it to a porta potty. But did you know there was one study that found no difference in cat preference when comparing covered litter boxes to uncovered litter boxes if, and this is a big if, the litter boxes were large, fine clumping litter was used, and the litter was scooped at least daily. So why do many of us not recommend using a covered litter box? Well, the litter box may not be cleaned as much. Think out of sight, out of mind. Some studies do show litter boxes with a cover are not cleaned as often as litter boxes without a cover. It may be a bit more smelly or dusty with a cover, and in multi-cat households, some cats take advantage of the situation, fine-tuning their hunting skills and attacking an unsuspecting vulnerable cat, doing their business or leaving the litter box. But before you run out and get a covered litter box, taking a closer look at the results, 8 cats did prefer an uncovered litter box, and these cats were on the larger side. These 8 cats just were not statistically significant with the number of cats used in the study. A cover on a litter box goes against what a cat would choose when going to the bathroom in the wild, a clear view of their surroundings to watch for potential threats, like another cat preparing a sneak attack or a dog looking for an easy snack. Litter box covers go against a common urban myth, which is cats need privacy when they go to the bathroom. Said no cat going to the bathroom outside, ever. One study did find that using covered litter boxes resulted in more house soiling, and the main reason for not using the litter box? Covered litter boxes were not cleaned as much as uncovered litter boxes. Again, the #1 recommendation of this video. If your cat is not using the litter box 100%, the best thing to do is just remove the cover. This also applies to top entry litter boxes, those fancy furniture litter boxes that have a plant growing out of the top, any litter box your cat has to climb into instead of just walking in. Number 7, scented litter. Some studies suggest that cats are less likely to use a litter box if the litter is scented. One study found that there was no difference between scented and unscented litters. Yet another study found that cats preferred cedar and fish scented litters and disliked citrus and floral scented litters. I think the takeaway here is if your cat is using a scented litter, you are probably okay. But if your cat is not using the litter box 100%, switch to an unscented litter. Your cat does not need to smell lavender, flowers, perfumes, or anything else when they bury their waste. That is a human preference, and that is marketing to you, not your cat. Number 8, litter depth. This may depend on your cat, but a general recommendation is 2 to 3 inches deep. Adding more litter so you don't have to scoop as often is not recommended. And if your cat seems to be sinking into the litter when they step in, you have too much litter. The goal is to have just enough litter so it's easy for your cat to dig and bury their waste. And this may depend on what your cat is doing. Cats prefer more depth when defecating and less depth when urinating. Long-haired cats may prefer less litter. And don't forget to replace that litter as you scoop out the waste to maintain that 2 to 3 inches. Number 9, high sides. A cat should feel comfortable getting into and out of their litter box. High sides help keep litter in, and even though this can help keep your house cleaner, it may discourage your cat from using the litter box, which is a bigger problem. The best solution I've come across is a large plastic storage container. You can cut down one side and use it as a litter box. The high sides help keep litter in. Just make sure it is easy for your cat to get into and out of the storage bin. And make sure it's large enough so your cat can circle and posture without touching the sides. Number 2 recommendation of this video. Number 10, litter box liners. It is generally recommended to avoid using litter box liners as it may prevent the natural scratching behavior in the litter box and your cat's claws can get caught in the plastic. And if they do, that may be a source of stress and negative feelings toward the litter box, which will force your cat to use the bathroom somewhere else. Number 11, cleaning the litter box. There have been a few studies investigating the smell of litter boxes with the assumption that if a litter box smells better to a cat's nose, a cat will use it more often. The results of these studies seems to be focusing more on potential smells from cleaning products rather than the actual smell of urine and feces. One study showed that the presence of odor in the litter box from either urine or feces did not influence litter box preference. The same study showed that the physical presence of urine and feces in the litter box was a factor in cats not using the litter box, which again supports recommendation number 1, scooping the litter box as often as you can. Avoid perfume and strong smelling cleaners like bleach, citrus, vinegar, and ammonia-based cleaning products, all of which may have a smell your cat does not like. All you need is soap and water and rinse the box thoroughly after cleaning. And nothing fancy with a soap, just a mild, unscented soap and use hot water. Number 12, odor control. Many cat parents reach for products to help with the smell like deodorizers and air fresheners. Unfortunately, if your cat doesn't like the smell, that may prevent them from using the litter box. The best odor control comes from scooping the litter box daily, vacuuming often, and cleaning the litter box with soap and water weekly, so waste and odors do not have time to accumulate. Many cat parents reach for litter additives or specific odor controlling litter to help with the smell. One study actually showed that cats preferred litter containing activated carbon, which can help with odor control. So this might be a nice compromise between your cat's litter preferences and your human nose. Baking soda comes up a lot. Some recommend sprinkling a small amount at the bottom of a litter box before adding litter to help with odor control. Well, it's toxic to cats in large amounts. It's debatable whether or not it actually helps with odor control, with many different opinions on the topic, nothing conclusive. One study compared litters containing baking soda and activated carbon and found that cats preferred the litters containing the activated carbon. If litter control is a goal of yours, I would not recommend adding baking soda to the litter. Instead, focus on scooping the litter box once daily and maybe trying a litter containing activated carbon. Number 13, cleaning the home. Enzymatic cleaners are your friend, and there are 2 products that I have used to break down and get rid of the waste and smell, not just cover it up from your human nose. Anti-Icky Poo and Nature's Miracle. If you do not get the urine and feces stains out of the environment, your cat may continue to use the bathroom in these locations. You may have to saturate the area with an enzymatic cleaner and let it sit for a while to completely remove the urine and feces stains. There are many enzymatic cleaners on the market. If your current enzymatic cleaner isn't working too well, then try one of these. Number 14, self-cleaning litter boxes. Are self-cleaning litter boxes worth the price? They are convenient. You don't have to clean the litter box as much, which is super helpful, especially if you have more than one cat. They may help with odor and litter tracking. What's there not to like? Unfortunately, they may be too much for your cat. The sound and movement may be a source of stress and anxiety for your cat, which may force them to use the bathroom somewhere else. So before you make the investment, putting aside all of their convenience, really think about if your cat will use this type of litter box. Or will it be another source of stress for your already shy, hiding under the bed when people come over, feline family member? From my cat veterinarian's perspective, if you are not physically scooping your cat's litter, you might be missing symptoms or discovering symptoms at a much later date, allowing an underlying disease process to progress, which then can result in a more expensive veterinary bill or prolonged treatment. If you are interested in one of these automatic litter boxes, choose one that can monitor the litter, waste levels, and patterns. Otherwise, you might be missing something. Number 15, dusty litter. If you pour litter into your cat's litter box from a height of 2 to 3 feet above the litter box, what happens? Do you notice a big cloud of dust? If so, you may want to consider switching to a less dusty litter, especially if your cat has asthma or a respiratory issue. As a general rule, the dustier the litter, the greater the chance your cats will not like it, especially if you're using a covered litter box. And if your cat is coughing or having asthma-like symptoms, Changing the litter is the first step to see if that is causing the respiratory symptoms. Number 16, mats. Yes, they can help with litter tracking in the home. Unfortunately, some cats just don't like mats, and this may prevent them from using the litter box. If you ever see your cat jumping over the mat or entering the litter box from the side, this may be a clue they're not the biggest fan of whatever mat you're using. As a general rule, I try to avoid mats in front of or around a litter box. However, there are many different types and textures of mats these days, which increases the chances of you finding one your cat will tolerate. The only way to know is to try and see. And if you have a mat and your cat is not using the litter box 100%, get rid of that mat right away. Number 17, previous medical issues. Cats love to associate not feeling well or discomfort with their litter box. So, if your cat had a previous medical issue that caused them to not use the litter box 100%, and now that medical issue is resolved, they still may associate discomfort or pain with their litter box. The solution? Get a completely new litter box setup, something they do not have negative feelings towards. You can try a new litter box with a different size and shape, a different litter, a new location. Just make sure it's different from what they currently have. You will also want to clean your home with an enzymatic cleaner so your cat does not return to their old house soiling patterns. It may be a good idea to keep up their old litter box setup for at least 6 days to help with the transition, just until your cat gets used to their new litter box setup. Number 18, spaying and neutering. This should go without saying, but here I am yet again saying to spay and neuter your cat before adulthood, which can significantly help with your cat using the litter box, specifically with spraying and marking behaviors. And do so early, like 4 months of age. Number 19, cat personality. We don't often discuss personality as a reason for a cat not using the litter box, but this may fall into category number 2, stress, as a reason your cat is not using their litter box. In fact, one study showed friendly kittens were less likely to have litter box problems as an adult when compared to kittens that were shy or afraid of strangers. Outgoing or social cats also had less litter box issues, suggesting personality may play a role with litter box usage. Unfortunately, more studies are needed on this topic, which potentially can help us give more specific recommendations. And this transitions nicely into how we can manage stress or anxiety in our cats not using the litter box 100%. There are a few options, so let's look at each a little bit more closely. Number 20, pheromones. Pheromones are chemical signals used as a form of communication, and the most well-known pheromone product is Feliway. You might see them as a spray, diffuser, or collar, and they claim to help with conditions like inter-cat aggression, fighting, stress, spraying, marking, and not using the litter box. Depending on which study you read and how you interpret it, Feliway can help or not make that much of a difference, which is exactly my experience with the product. In some cases, it made a huge difference. In others, it didn't seem to do too much at all. And Feliway isn't the only pheromone. There are other products on the market. I just don't have experience with them. I still discuss and recommend Feliway, mainly as a stepping stone before reaching for an actual medication. And just remember, products like these are not evaluated by the FDA. The manufacturer must ensure these products are safe, effective, and labeled correctly. And since they are not drugs, they are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Number 21, Nutraceuticals. There are a ton of these products on the market claiming to help with stress, anxiety, and even calming your cat. Some examples include Calming Care, which has a beneficial bacteria, Zilkine, which contains a milk protein, Axantane, which has an amino acid from green tea. You'll find them in diets, treats, powders, liquids, tablets, and capsules. There's so many options out there, and just like with the Feliway pheromone, these have been hit or miss with me. It's something to try before reaching for an actual medication. Again, the manufacturers must ensure the product is effective, safe, and labeled correctly. They are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Number 22, medications. When everything else has failed, we've ruled out a medical issue, we've tried most or all of the recommendations in this video, sometimes we have to reach for a medication to stop the urinating and defecating outside the litter box. you have a few options, with fluoxetine or kitty cat Prozac being my go-to medication in these circumstances. And this will need to be a conversation with your vet. To learn more, check out my fluoxetine video. Number 23, Litter Box Buffet. My best tip and the fastest way to figure out what your individual cat actually wants with their litter box setup is what I call the litter box buffet approach. At the same time, offer different litter boxes in different locations with different types of litter. We want different sizes and shapes of litter boxes. We want different types and textures of litter. Maybe even different depths of litter. Yes, this is inconvenient. However, we can't just take our cats to the pet store and say, just choose something, I'll get anything you want, just please use a litter box. Remember, this approach is temporary, just until you figure out what your cat wants. It is much better than your cat using the bathroom outside of the litter box. If space is limited, this can be challenging. You may have to put 2 or 3 different litter boxes next to or near each other, each with a different litter, and see what your cat chooses. Then change the setup in a week and see if you notice a preference. You should start to see some patterns or trends which will help you choose a litter box setup your cat wants and will use 100% of the time. One of my most extreme examples is I had a client with many cats. They purchased a kids pool from a big box retailer, put it in their basement, and filled it with clay clumping litter. And per the owner, all the house soiling behaviors went away for all of their cats. Now, this is an extreme example, and I'm not necessarily recommending it, but if you think about it, it does check off a lot of boxes. It's a large litter box. It allows cats to circle, dig, and eliminate without touching the sides, and has a wide view of their surroundings, so it's something to think about. The other reason why I like this idea is that in a good way, it is thinking outside of the litter box.
Come on, Dad.
Number 24, kittens. When a kitten has to go, they have to go. And if that litter box is far away, say up a flight of steps or in a basement, that may result in a few accidents. If you have a kitten, that litter box needs to be in the way and inconvenient, so your kitten develops good litter box habits. Once they get a little older and are using the litter box more consistently, you can slowly move that litter box to a more human convenient location. Kittens should be able to get into and out of the litter box easily and feel comfortable doing so. Avoid high-sided litter boxes. For the really young kittens, rub the perineum, the location right under the tail on the back end, with a warm, wet washcloth to help stimulate the sensation to go while they're in the litter box. Number 25, older cats. Older cats, especially if they have arthritis, may have difficulty getting into and out of a litter box with high sides. The litter box needs to be big enough so they can circle and posture without touching the sides, or they may use the bathroom somewhere else. If your older cat is associating discomfort or pain with the litter box, that may prevent them from using it. In addition to providing a large, easy to get into, conveniently located litter box for your senior cat, your vet may need to prescribe a medication to help alleviate some pain or discomfort to help ensure they use the litter box consistently, especially if they have arthritis. To learn more, check out my Arthritis in Cats video. My best litter box recommendation. The best advice I can give you is if you're out shopping for a litter box or a cat litter and you get excited about a product, don't get it. That excitement, that's marketing to you and your human preferences, not your cat. At the end of the day, most, if not all cats just want a basic litter box with enough room to do their normal bathroom routine without touching the sides, with a sand-like litter that is cleaned at least once daily. That's it. We've been discussing not using the litter box, and there are 3 behaviors to consider: urinating outside the litter box, defecating outside the litter box, and both urinating and defecating outside of the litter box. The behavior your cat has may be a clue as to what is going on. If your cat is both urinating and defecating outside of the litter box, it is likely behavioral. If your cat is only urinating or only defecating outside the litter box, it is best to make an appointment with your vet to rule out a medical issue, especially with cats urinating outside the litter box, which could have crystals, stones, urinary tract infections, or FIC. Cats that are defecating outside the litter box may have digestive issues like diarrhea or constipation, musculoskeletal issues like arthritis, or issues that cause pain. So why am I talking about this? Because cats not using the litter box are a big reason why they are dropped off at shelters, put outside, or are euthanized. The recommendations in this video can help prevent litter box issues before they occur, or help cats get back to using the litter box 100% again, which then saves lives. If your cat is not using the litter box 100% of the time, that is a problem. It doesn't matter that your cat is using the litter box most of the time, because that one time they go outside the litter box, that can turn into a bigger issue very quickly. These recommendations only work for behavioral litter box avoidance. You have to rule out a medical issue first, especially in young male cats that are urinating outside the litter box. So if your cat is urinating outside the litter box or defecating outside the litter box, make an appointment with your vet. I cannot stress this enough. If you have ruled out medical issues with your vet, I hope this video helps get your cat back to using their litter box 100% of the time, which can help repair the bond between you and your feline family members. That's it from Meow. If you learned something, like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.